that, once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a prince who had one very specific wish. He wanted to marry a princess, but not just any princess. She had to be a real princess. He was quite serious about this, so he set off on a grand journey, traveling all over the world to find his perfect match. He met plenty of princesses along the way, more than you could count. But every single time, something just felt off. There was always a little detail, a tiny thing that made him doubt if they were truly, genuinely royal. Disappointed and a bit sad, the prince returned home, his quest unsuccessful. He still longed to find a real princess, but it seemed impossible. Then, one evening, a wild storm descended upon the kingdom. The wind howled, lightning flashed across the sky, and rain came down in relentless sheets. It was a truly dreadful night. Amidst the chaos of the storm, a sudden knocking echoed from the city gate. The old king, curious about who could possibly be out in such weather, went to open it himself. Standing there, soaked and shivering, was a young woman. What a sight she was! Her hair and clothes were dripping with water, which ran in streams right into the toes of her shoes and out again at the heels. Despite her disheveled appearance, she looked the king in the eye and declared, "I am a real princess." Well, the old queen who had followed the king to the gate heard this and had an idea. "We'll soon find that out," she thought to herself, though she didn't say a word out loud. Instead, she quietly went to prepare a guest room. She walked into the bedroom, took all the bedding off the bed, and right in the center of the bed frame, she placed a single tiny pea. Then the real test began. On top of that one little pea, she stacked 20 thick mattresses. And as if that wasn't enough, she then piled 20 soft, fluffy eider-down beds on top of the mattresses. It was a tower of bedding, a mountain of comfort. This was where the princess would have to sleep for the night. The next morning, everyone gathered for breakfast, and they asked the princess how she had slept. She sighed and shook her head. "Oh, terribly," she said. "I barely closed my eyes all night. I have no idea what could have been in that bed, but I was lying on something hard, and now my whole body is black and blue. It was simply horrible." The moment she said those words, the entire royal family knew. They knew she was a real princess. How? Because only someone with the delicate sensitivity of true royalty could feel a tiny pea through 20 mattresses and 20 eider-down beds. Nobody else could possibly be that sensitive. The prince was overjoyed. Finally, he had found what he had been searching for all this time, a genuine, real princess. He asked her to be his wife, and she happily accepted. They were married in a grand celebration, and everyone in the kingdom rejoiced. And what happened to the pea, you ask? That little pea became famous. It was carefully placed in the Royal Museum for all to see, a symbol of true sensitivity. And they say it might still be there today. That is, if no one has stolen it. And that is the true story of the princess and the pea. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more classic stories.